What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jay Ridge, back to give you your MLB props for May the 23rd. Now, I know I took a couple days off, but the reason why was because I had a power outage at my house, so I couldn't record. I did drop some plays on Saturday that were fantastic. We had a great Saturday with some of the patrons. When I was able to run the model prior to my power ultimately going out, I sent them a screenshot of the plays and we talked them through. But I am here, I am back to drop some more great plays for you for Major League Baseball for May the 23rd. There's a lot of players I got to run through because a lot of guys are popping in the model. There's some bad pitchers today, but let's dive right into it right now. So these are the guys that popped in the model. You have Paul Goldschmidt, Andrew McCutchen, Rowdy Tellez, Ian Happ, Ronald Acuna Jr., Aaron Judge, Joey Votto, Giancarlo Stanton, and Tommy Edman. So let's start at the very top with Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt's prop is at 7.5, which is a little bit lower than it's been recently. It's been 8.5, 8. Now we see it at 7.5, going against Toronto starting pitcher Jose Barrios, who hasn't been playing very well this season. His ERA is high, his FIP is high, his Sierra is high. All things have been going wrong for Jose Barrios so far this season, and I don't expect that to change much today against a very, very hot St. Louis Cardinals roster. Whether it's Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Tommy Edman, who you see at the bottom of this list, Nolan Gorman, who got called up and is balling right now. There is a lot of reasons to like this Cardinals roster and a lot of reasons why Barrios could be in trouble, and that 1.32 pitch factor may actually be headed on the upswing. Now, Paul Goldschmidt, as you see, he's averaging almost 15 points over his last 14 days. Main reason why is because he's been hitting a ton of extra base hits. He's got 13 extra base hits in his last 13 games. That's going to be good for going over 7 points for a double, and he's been hitting a ton of doubles. As you can see, that basically gets you right to that line of 7.5. I love Paul Goldschmidt. He's going to be a core play for me he's going to be a core play for me on this slate. Now, the next guys I want to go to are the Milwaukee Brewers playing against the Padres. They're up against Nick Martinez, but the issue with these guys is I just don't trust them, honestly. Like Andrew McCutchen coming off of injury, bit of a small sample there. He's played in 3 games. He's had an extra base hit in 2 of the 3 games. Again, it's a low total. It's low-hanging fruit. Martinez hasn't been that great this season. There is potential there and obviously a lot of upside with McCutchen batting 5th in the order. Same with Rowdy Tellez. A 4.5 total for Rowdy Tellez is extremely low. And so if you do want to play him, again, it doesn't take a lot to get there. An RBI single, and he's over. A walk and a run basically puts you there. So there's a lot of potential to go over. 1 extra base hit is 1 double, and he's already over his total. That's why the edge is so high, because while he's only averaging 7 points per game, he still only has a 4.5 total. And these are guys that I do target very frequently because they have such low totals. I'm not all in on them, though. McCutchen, again, coming back from injury, small sample, not quite buying in yet. Same like I've talked about with Bryce Harper coming back, super hot, but small sample, and obviously the form isn't quite where we want it. So I'm going to be staying away from the Brewers, I think, overall. Ian Happ is interesting versus Vladimir Gutierrez, who is allowing a ton of runs this season. He's just not playing well at all. And as you can see, Happ's actually hit him pretty well in 8 at-bats. He's hitting 500 with 2 home runs and 2 RBIs. So that's always something I like to target for my plays, is guys who have familiarity with the pitcher, a pitcher who's playing really bad in a good ballpark that allows a lot of triples and doubles in Cincinnati. So there's a lot of reasons to like Happ, and I think I'm going to be putting Happ in quite a few lineups today. I do really like his props, and I would probably be even betting his total bases over on some of the other books if that's the direction you want to play. I love Ian Happ today. Now let's get into Ronald Acuna, who I've been telling you guys over and over and over to keep on betting. The issue is for Ronald Acuna, and I'll pull up the stats overall, is that he is not really getting a ton of bases. So you see Acuna here. Let me make myself a little bit smaller to make this a little bit better for y'all so you can really see it. But the biggest issue with him is that while he is getting a ton of steals, you can see he's got 4 steals here, he's not actually doing a ton on the bases. He's got 5 singles, he's got 2 doubles, he's got no home runs, and it really just comes down to the fact that he's not doing a ton, but he is getting a lot in the steals department. Steals are 5 points on PrizePicks, but he hasn't been overly productive. Only 1.5 bases over his last 14 games, well, last 6 game sample. And you can see here, he's around guys that have 2.5 total bases per game, 3 total bases per game. He's really only getting it done in the steals department. And while I trust him and while I love Acuna, I don't know if he can be a core play. One thing that is positive, though, is that he has a lengthy history versus Zach Wheeler, who's a neutral pitcher right now. 3 home runs against him, which is always good. Extra base hits. You see he's got a 450 WOBA against him, which is great. You like to see that. He has about a 450 WOBA on the season as well. So again, right in line with his season averages. And you see the OPS over 1, which is always good to see. I do like Acuna. I do think there is reasons to play him at such a low total at 6.5, but I don't know if I'm all in. I love Acuna, but I'm weary a little bit because while the plate skills are there, he's getting on base. He's really been getting it done in the steals department exclusively and hasn't been doing much from an extra base hit and hitting perspective. Batting at the top of the order, there's not going to be many RBI chances. He's going to be scoring runs when he gets on base because his team's going to drive him in, but he needs to do a little bit more than that to hit these marks over and over consistently. Now let's get into Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge up against Jordan Lyles. This is, again, Jordan Lyles is a fine pitcher, but he could get slaughtered today. Him and Judge and Stanton again in another smash matchup against a pitcher that just isn't performing very well. I mean, at the end of the day, I've told you guys this before, Giancarlo Stanton with a lower total is just a play that I like to go for a little bit more, but as you can see, Judge does have the higher edge. He's performing a little bit better than Stanton. You know, these sample sizes keep changing, so the numbers keep changing a little bit, and Judge is really the one who has better form, especially as of late, but we have hit Stanton in the past, and we did hit him on Saturday with his 3-hit game against the White Sox, and you can see here the biggest thing, reason why I like Stanton is the history. You have 9 at-bats, 444 average with a home run, and more importantly, 4 RBIs. So while the 8 total is extremely high and the 8.5 total is extremely high, I wouldn't 100% shy away from Judge and Stanton because they are more than capable of going way over in this matchup. Now let's get to Joey Votto, who's kind of the last guy I'm going to talk about. And the issue for me with Votto is he is struggling mightily. He's hitting 151 on the season. He did have extra base hits in every game against Toronto. Now he's playing against the Cubs, who are a terrible lineup. He is against Drew Smyly. Drew Smyly is a better pitcher than people give him credit for, but he is struggling this season. Now, I don't know if Votto's going to be great against him because Votto's been terrible on the year, but he is heating up just a little bit. He hit a home run yesterday, and so we'll see what happens. I don't really want to go in on Votto. You can see he's hitting 100 against Drew Smyly. Drew Smyly, a big lefty who throws the ball very well. Votto, for some reason, is hitting better against lefties this season than he is against right-handed pitchers. That's weird because Votto is a left-handed hitter, but, you know, maybe he's just in his old age getting a little bit better, but I'm going to be staying away from Votto, I think. Edman is interesting, hitting at the top of the order, depending on how they ultimately line up their guys. Edman could be in line for a ton of runs in this one. All he has to do is get on base. He's a steals threat, so I do like Edman as well, and as you can see, he has homered off Barrios before. I think for me, the 3 guys that I'm targeting right now as my core plays, I love Paul Goldschmidt. I really like Ian Happ today. I'd be considering Acuna, and I'd probably be putting in Judge or Stanton. My personal preference is probably going to be Stanton because I want to trust the history he has with Jordan Lyles. But overall, both are great plays, and those are the guys I'm going to be targeting today. So as always, hope you guys like this video. Make sure to drop us a subscribe if you want to subscribe for future content. All the prop videos we're doing today are tailored for Prize Picks. These are all fantasy scores for the hitters on Prize Picks. And make sure if you tail, give them hell. And if we fail, do not bail. I'll be back tomorrow dropping more MLB plays. I really like these ones. Goldschmidt, Happ, and Stanton for me are the core 3. I would be mixing and matching those. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck today. I'm out. Peace.